Welcome once again to the Mayor's Weekly Press Conference. It's a beautiful, beautiful Wednesday, October 4th outside, about 83 degrees. The low tonight is going to be somewhere around 58. Tomorrow, 79 degrees. Friday, a high of 82 and a low of 57. And kind of carbon copy as we go on through. For those of you who remember what carbon paper was, it's just looking like summer is kind of coming back at us again. And then looking further into next week. Next week, it looks like the temperatures are going to be back down in the 70s and 60s. But, you know, that's like looking at a crystal ball when it comes to forecasting that far out. But it is nice outside right now. So for those of you who are watching me, I don't know what you're doing. You should be outside enjoying the weather. Some EPW, Engineering and Public Works updates today. We've got the water line project that's on Avon Place and Dalton Avenue. That is a project that's barreling along. The contractor is going to continue the water line, water main installation this week. Avon will be closed through traffic adjacent to the work zone, and on-street parking may also be restricted in this area, so just keep that in mind. Again, this is a big project where a large water main is being replaced. This is in conjunction with the annual street repaving, so that'll be done after everything is done. There's also going to be some water line and street work on Dalton in between Grand Park, I believe, and Avon, but don't hold me to that. But it will be Dalton Avenue. To where we see some work, Grand Park and Eden Place, not Avon. So, because Avon will be the major work site. So that's going on. Again, there's going to be hydrant replacement in that area as well, all the way from East State Street on up to Sells Park. So it's a decent-sized project, one of the last streets that fell under the annual paving program this year. One of the last ones to be done, and it is because of that water line. McKinley Avenue Extension, Stimson Avenue Roundabout. Again, it's just punch list items, finishing up some work, possibly putting in some more trees on McKinley Avenue. So that project is kind of coming to a close as well. And then finally, in terms of big projects around the city, the North Congress area sewer line project. That, too, is slowly winding down. The contractor expects to complete the asphalt patchwork and paving on Ring Street and Pine Street starting October 5th. So it is underway and hopes to be completed by October 9th. Again, that was another huge, huge project in the city. The Stimson Avenue Mural project, kind of shifting gears a little bit. This is the mural that can be seen from Stimson Avenue and East State Street, the one that's been there for a long time. It is time to do a facelift or at least a new mural to go up in this area. The deadline for proposals, RFPs, the deadline was originally through September 15th. It has been extended to November 1. So for anyone who wants to still submit a proposal for the mural project, please do so. I believe those can be submitted. You can certainly submit it to the city building, but what they're looking for you to do is to mail or hand deliver the applications to Arts West, and you should at least indicate on there as well, Stimson Avenue Mural Project. Again, Arts West is at 132 West State Street. So keep that in mind. Some other happenings around the city. The League of Women Voters candidate forums that are underway tonight at 6:30 in the Athens Public Library is the Township Trustee open forum for all the candidates that are running for Township Trustee, Athens Township Trustee. There is also, along the same vein, the Athens County League of Women Voters Candidate Forum for the Athens City at Large candidates. That is going to be Tuesday, October 10th. That too will be at 6:30 to 8:30 at the Athens Public Library. If I didn't state that is where the forum is being held for the township trustees this evening as well. So a good time, or good opportunity to get out and at least hear what the viewpoints are for those running for township trustee as well as Athens City Council at large. And I believe there are 5 members running for that particular, for the at-large seats, of which there are 3. Planning Commission meeting is going to be Thursday, tomorrow evening, October 5th. That'll be here in council chambers, 12 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. And the Athens City Historic Preservation Commission is also meeting. That's going to be October 9th. That is 5:30 to 7 p.m. And that's in the front conference room here in the city building. A couple other things I want to bring up, and that is that this Friday is the Athens area stand down, and this is for the homeless as well as homeless veterans in the area. That is going to be at the county fairgrounds at 10 o'clock to 2 p.m. I've attended that last year. I'll be attending it this year and reading a proclamation, which I'll get to near the end of today's press conference. Along with that, the Athens Public Transit is also having a fare-free day, no fares, for this Friday in conjunction with the Athens area stand down. So anyone can hop on any of the city bus routes free to go anywhere they choose to throughout all the designated bus route areas, and it is all the bus routes. Again, they're all going to be free. The next week, October 8th through the 14th, is Fire Prevention Week. So there'll be more to come on that, but a lot of events surrounding that in terms of fire safety and prevention. Another update I want to bring forward, and if I can get Ryan Schwartzoff, our engineer, to kind of zoom in on that for me, that would be awesome. These are, we're calling them sidewalk pucks, but these are, and I'll turn this sideways so everyone can see, I mean, these things are wafer thin, so they are consistent with our ADA accessibility. Is that these are going to be going up in the uptown area, in particular along the Court Street corridor. Walk your wheels, and along with this, there is legislation to where people are not, it is against the law to ride a bicycle or a skateboard or any other, a Segway or anything of that nature on the Court Street sidewalks, and largely because we have a lot of pedestrian traffic that walks up and down those sidewalks. It is legal to ride your bicycle up and down Court Street, but for the sidewalks unto themselves, they're not. So you're going to start seeing these pucks going up on Court Street. You're also going to see enhanced signage. We're going to put wraps on the ends of each segment of Court Street. In other words, from Carpenter to State Street to Washington Street to Union, that also has signage on the big bellies that speak to that in terms of walking your wheels, as well as the ordinance that speaks to not being a legal action to sit and ride your bicycle up and down Court Street and whatnot. So you'll be seeing more of those going up, and then we'll be putting signage also up on the poles where you see the 2-hour parking and all that kind of information that we see in the uptown area anyway. So more to come on that. The last thing I want to do today is I'm going to read 2 proclamations. One proclamation is for the Athens area stand down. So I want to start with that proclamation, and then I'll get into the second one. Office of the Mayor proclamation. Whereas the Athens area community members, social service agencies, and community organizations will hold the Athens area stand down for people who are homeless or at risk of being homeless, with special emphasis on veterans. And whereas stand down is a term used in times of war in which exhausted combat units came off the battlefield to rest and recover in a place of safety. And whereas today, community-based stand-downs refer to programs that provide and assist homeless and near homeless individuals transition to community living by providing access to social service agencies, including benefit counseling, employment resources, behavioral health resources, medical screenings, legal assistance, and other resources. And whereas homelessness affects people in the Athens area in addition to ways beyond our veteran population, and want to reach out and help all of those in need who are capable, who we are capable of assisting. And whereas stand-downs have been used as an effective tool in reaching out to people who are homeless, both veterans and non-veterans, by connecting them with resources they need to address their problems and rebuild their lives. Now, therefore, I, Steve Patterson, the mayor of the city of Athens, Ohio, do hereby proclaim October 6th, 2017 as Athens Area Stand Down Day and urge all citizens of the city of Athens to recognize the positive impacts that this event has to assist the homeless and veterans and to express gratitude to those who have served and continue to serve. So again, I will be rereading that proclamation this Friday at the Athens Area Stand Down. The next one, and I've got have the good fortune of having Pete Kalatis here with us today. Pete reached out to my office and asked if a proclamation could be read or put together, and I think Pete put a lot of the effort into having this come to fruition. This is the Marching 110 celebrating its 50 years of making the big switch. This is great. And as I understand it, if I may, Pete, that there is an event at the Ping Center. Is that by invite or is that open? By invite. Fair enough, but again, it'll be honoring the Marching 110. And again, I failed to mention this, I think, in my report before we get into this. The homecoming parade is this weekend. It is the 7th of October, and I believe the parade steps off at 10 a.m. Thank you, Pete. I thought that was the case. And the parade route, before I get into the proclamation, the parade route is pretty much the same as it was last year. It'll be coming up starting in the Factory Street area. This year it's a little bit different in terms of where everything's being marshaled out of. It'll be over in front of the Woosok building, which is right across the street from Factory Street on West Union. But the parade will be going up West Union. It'll turn onto Richland Avenue / South Congress, but Richland Avenue, so it'll start heading south. It will then again turn east on President Street. And then from President Street, it will turn north and start marching up Court Street. And it'll go up Court Street to Washington. It will take a right onto Washington Street, go in front of the city building near the parking garage. And then it'll take a right once again and start heading south on College Street down to East Union. And at East Union, it will take a left and jog over to Terrace, and then on Terrace it'll start heading south once again, and then down on Terrace it'll start to, it'll end there and start to disband. So that's the parade route, so that everyone is aware. My family and I will be walking the parade as we typically do, with something I really look forward to with the homecoming parade. But now, getting to the proclamation. Office of the Mayor, proclamation. Whereas in the year 2017, the Ohio University Marching 110 celebrates 50 years of making the big switch and entertaining fans with their hard-driving, high-energy style. And whereas, because of the 110% effort that the Ohio University Marching 110 gives to representing the lively culture of Ohio University and the Athens community, they are deserving of special recognition. And whereas, since their founding, the Marching 110 has performed at over 40 NFL halftime shows, the New York City's Carnegie Hall, in 2 Macy's Thanksgiving Day parades, the Pasadena Tournament of Roses Parade, and internationally in Canada, Ireland, and Italy. And whereas, along with celebrating 50 years, the Marching 110 will also represent Ohio University and the City of Athens community in the 2017 Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade on November 23rd. And whereas the Ohio University Marching 110 is iconic to Ohio University and continuously stands as a beacon of artistic creativity in the Athens community. Now, therefore, I, Steve Patterson, the mayor of the city of Athens, do hereby proclaim let's make it all year, October 7th, 2017 as Marching 110 Day, and urge all citizens in the city of Athens to join in the celebration. This is great. Great proclamations, both of them are. But again, thank you, Pete, for coming down here and kind of kickstarting this. And so therefore I will be giving this to Pete, as well as trying as best I can to come down to that event and with your blessing, reread it again, as I would love to do. Great proclamation. And so hopefully we can make that all happen. Thank you all again for attending the Mayor's Press Conference. Next week, we will return back here in council chambers as Scott Thompson, Ryan Shortsoff, and I are kind of brainstorming as to where to have our next remote press conference. But note this, there will be another remote one. We'll just have to scheme up a real interesting place to host the next remote press conference. That all said, have a great week. Have a great and enjoyable homecoming this weekend and throughout the rest of this week. And hopefully we'll see you again next Wednesday. Take care.